We have 5 days left. This is crazy. Guys, we're gonna hop right into it. Yesterday we left off with the whole fuel pump install. That's all complete and good to go. Now, first things on today's list, I'm a little bit behind. I had some things to go ahead and kind of get done today. But we're gonna get right into it as much as we can today. I have dinner plans tonight, but that's okay. We'll still be able to get some progress on this thing. So first things first, guys, I really want to go ahead and get the transmission actually just mounted to the car. That way we can honestly just drop the car on the ground and just, you know, kind of get it ready for whatever. So let's go ahead, start there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab our trans mount. I actually have it inside warming up, drying up a little bit. So let's go ahead and bring it out here and mount this thing up. This is huge, dude. Like it's been probably like a month or so that we've been waiting, or like making this whole transmission mount. It's been a huge deal. So I'm happy that it's done. Let's go ahead and get this thing in. Well, it's now 7 o'clock. I mean, that took me at least an hour and a half, man. That was ridiculous how long that took. It's in. It wasn't the best fit, only because I think with heat and stuff like that, stuff moved around and measurements changed. I kind of was expecting it, just because obviously he didn't have the car. But yeah, that was an absolute nightmare, man. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know, it's in, it's all good, everything's tight, it's in. We might be hitting it on that side a little bit. On the passenger side, it might be hitting it just a touch. We'll kind of see. We'll mess with that later. That was too much. But it's in. It doesn't hang too low. You guys can kind of see. You can't really see it, so that's good. I'm happy with it. It hangs just good. It's pretty damn close to center. The shifter is pretty close in the center. The only thing is, it does sit a little bit in the, like, you know, towards the rear. Kind of expected that, but man, I was frustrated. It took way too long. Look, it took way too long. Literally should have been a 5-minute job. It took an hour and a half, so let's just keep on moving. Oh man. So last night I was messing, well, I took apart the ignition to see what kind of wires we're working with down here, and I realized that the black and yellow, you guys can double check and confirm me on this. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but the black and yellow is the starter signal wire from the key. Now, I found that black and yellow wire. Can you guys see it? Black and yellow. So this right here is probably gonna be what's gonna give us the trigger to our starter. So instead of making our own wire, running our own wire, it's already here in the OEM 300Z fuse box harness. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is just make a little pin, you know, get a little spade, hook it up to that, route it to where it needs to go down to the starter, and then we'll have a starter signal. Okay guys, so we have, the wire is all routed, all good to go. So we have it coming from here. Got my little spade connector running all the way along our main harness, and it tucks underneath, goes under there, whoop, straight into the starter. Now if you guys don't have, or if you just don't know, let's say you don't have your chassis harness and you're like, alright, where the hell am I getting my starter signal from? If you still want to use your key, right? Like obviously if you want to use a push button, you just push you take a wire from the battery, and then the other side of that push button switch is going to go to the starter. So pretty much anytime you hit that button, no matter, you know what, you're just going to trigger the starter. So if you guys want to go ahead and just make your own from the key, figure out your wiring schematic and figure out which wire is your starter wire, and basically you can tap into that and then route it down to the starter. Same thing. So the battery, as you guys saw, we crossed that off the list. It is complete. The ground strap is made. I guess the only thing that we have to go ahead and still just I guess get, and I didn't really consider that sufficient enough to say that we didn't complete the job, a new terminal. Next thing I'm gonna go ahead and work on is getting the fuel filter where it needs to be. There's not much room to work with the current hard line set up down there, so we kind of have to figure something out, but that's what I'm gonna work on now. So fuel filter's installed. All I gotta do is get some clamps, bolt it all down. Just if you guys are not aware, the filter actually goes in on your feed line. So before, you know, the first thing when it comes out of the tank, it goes through the filter before going into your motor. So ours is tucked down there. It's black. It's right here. You can't see it, but got it in there. Like I said, just need some clamps. and it's good to go. So I'm currently working on the fuel drain. The only problem I'm running into right now is our AN fitting. I have a 45 right now, and it seems like that's just not going to work out, because if you guys can maybe kind of see, it's going right through our runners. Two of them, it's literally touching two. So I think if we can get a 90, I might be able to route it up higher and then bring it down through in like a higher gap. I do have some of this nice Jarrett's here, you know, just DJ man. I got some of this 1-inch, what is this? The nice, it's supposed to be real good. It says though, however, it's only good for, you know, okay, well it says withstands 2,000 degrees of Fahrenheit of intermittent heat, and it can get direct heat up to 500. So I don't know, it should be okay as long as we get it out of like a touching zone. If it's just kind of floating around the manifolds, that should be okay. That's really the only option I kind of see with the drain. I did take off my downpipe because obviously we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed up. I'm gonna take the downpipe and the intercooler pipe to Ross tomorrow. Maybe we can get that done just real quick. Shouldn't take too long. I think there's only one joiner on the intercooler pipe, so it should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and lop this off really quick because we're just gonna run a coolant hose just straight across. Okay, today is not my day. I don't know why it's just not sticking too well. I don't think, oh man, I just don't, what a day it's been, man, what a day. So we updated our list. Well, actually I just made a little quick parts list that I'm in need of right now. Also, I just read in the comments, there's another thing why today is just not going so great. It honestly clicked to me too, like when I was putting it in, I was like, you know what, maybe this won't survive so well in gasoline. So the fuel pump, how I put that silicone radiator hose around it, not a good idea. So I saw a couple comments from you guys saying that, hey, that thing's gonna go ahead and just deteriorate and clog up your sock. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip out the fuel pump again and get that whole situation sorted out. So I'm gonna do that first. Alright guys, well I think it's time to at least give some life to this car. We're not starting it obviously, but I want to at least get the power hooked up, and you know, I want to test a couple things for power for the ECU, because we do have to go ahead and add power and a ground for the ECU so it actually works, because obviously no longer is it connected to the chassis harness. However, there is a plug in there that I'll show you guys in just a second that honestly might just have everything that we need. So just right quick though, we're gonna get this battery hooked up and plugged in. Moment of truth, man. Hopefully nothing, you know, I mean nothing should spark up or anything like that. We should be all good to go. Our breaker is currently off, so we can toss this terminal on. I don't really have a full out good, I still need to buy a terminal because this one is too big and it's kind of nappy. But alright, fingers crossed, here we go. All we gotta do is flip this switch and this car should come to life. Alright, here we go. We have a light. Oh god, what was that? We have a light, we got power. Okay, this car hasn't had power in a long time, and you guys see that? That's pretty cool. We got the footwell light and everything. So we're not gonna, actually we do have to turn the key. It's not gonna prime anything because the ECU, there's no ECU connected. So, because what I'm talking about down here is this plug right here. I'll get some light in a second. There's a black and red wire. I'm gonna go ahead and check that and see if that has 12 volts with the key on. So, first thing, key on. Oh, I haven't heard that sound. Oh, that sound is nice. We have a blower, even though we have no fan controls. That's pretty wild. Oh wait, no, wow. I'm so not used to this car. They're all up here. So accessory. Okay, I got a turn signal. There we go. So we have power, everything's on. I'm gonna go ahead now and get my multimeter, get a light for you guys, and we're gonna go ahead and do some, we're gonna track for some power, man. I was a little bit terrified of electrical stuff at first, just, you know, diving in. Even batteries used to sketch me out, like hooking them up, I'm not gonna lie. And especially the first time that I tucked my fuse box harness in my 240, which I chopped 100 wires, about like, I think it was like 88 wires. Chopped them, and I was like, oh god, I probably have like dirt on my, don't worry about it. And I was like, damn, like I'm afraid. Like I literally hyped myself up so much that I was like, all right, cool, the car's done, but you know what? I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to hook the battery up. Crazy story, just story time right quick. The next day, I finally get enough guts to hook the battery up. Mind you, I was like, I don't know, I was kind of young. I was like 18 or 19, not super young, but I was all new to the stuff, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't aware, I didn't know what was gonna happen, I was terrified. I hook the battery up, and it's crazy that this happened, but the moment I hooked the battery up, the whole car filled up in smoke, like instantly filled up in smoke. I was like, oh my god, I just ruined this whole harness, and probably the whole chassis harness everything's ruined, right? Dude, my heart was racing. I let the smoke clear, and like huge sparks at the terminal too, like it was crazy. And like that, you know, that's why it's funny that I was scared, and of course something crazy happened, which is why you shouldn't never be scared, because that's how you attract stuff. But regardless, and then I go inside the car and I find like before I did this, my fans were on a switch, so hot wired to a switch. So the moment you flick the switch, fans turn on. And you could override it anytime. So I just had a power wire going to the switch from the battery and a wire going to the fans. So there was nothing in between. And my dash was out. And that wire, that power wire, was grounding out on the dash. And I go in and I see this wire just fully melted out. That's the only thing that caused all that smoke. And then I fixed that, got that out of there, hit the battery again. We were good. Everything was working perfectly. So at that point, at that moment in time, I gained a lot of confidence in electronics, cars, wiring, and stuff like that. So you can't really be afraid. Yeah, okay, sorry. Enough rambling. Find this multimeter. Alright, so let's see if we got some power. It'd be freaking awesome if it was just that easy. So I'm gonna set you guys up maybe right here. Give me a second to get myself situated here. Alright, so now we're gonna go back up in here, and the black and red wire is hiding, but it's right here. So now, oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. We have, can I show you? You guys see that? 11.3, oh. 11.5 volts. So that's it, man. That's freaking what we want. Yeah, if someone could tell me how to get that key out of there, it might be something to do with this, or I don't know, something that's with the transmission that I ripped out of here. Let me know, because I can't get the key out now. By the way, I took out that silicone. Look at what it already started doing to it, bro. Already started to mess with it. So yeah, lesson learned. Don't put silicone hoses inside of fuel. Now, hear me out. Do you guys think, I saw a couple comments from yesterday's video, do you guys think that I should do a like aftermarket relay power setup for the fuel pump? Because maybe like the factory wiring, I think someone said it was 18 gauge and just might not be sufficient for our application and stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think for our pump, because it's a 525 liter per hour Hellcat pump. I just, you know, if we need to, we can do it. It's really not that hard. I did all that stuff for the S14. I'm really not too worried about it. So if we need to, let me know and I can totally get that done. Technically, the best part is we could lower this car and put it on the ground right now, but tomorrow, well, first off, we got to put a drive shaft in, and tomorrow I got some exhaust pieces coming in so I can start making an exhaust. Crazy. I'm super excited. I'm happy that we got power to it, first of all. You know, it's been a while since I've seen some power. I want to see if I can show you guys a little technique. I got this harness out here a little bit better, and we got this black and red one for all my Z32 guys. This is part of your factory harness that plugs into your VG engine harness. So obviously this is no longer being used, but we can go ahead and use it still, if that even made sense. So check this out. We got our wire strippers, Rory. And then, hang on, I'm going to set you guys up, kind of, sort of, on our seat, if you guys can see this, hopefully. We're going to go ahead and find our wire, get it out of the way. There we go. And then we're going to get our strippers out, and we're going to get it right, you know, straight through. We're going to kind of hurdle the wire. And some of you guys probably know this trick, but it's just easier, instead of cutting the wire and then splicing the two ends back together. All you can do is, if you get your pressure just right, if you go nice and slow, I might have to adjust my, hang on a second, I got to adjust my settings here, and you can pull the shielding away, yep, just like that, and you got to do it slow, because if you do the same speed as if you're, like, you know, chopping the end, you could probably just cut the wire right in half. So you gain practice as the more you do it, but this is it right here. It's pretty insane, it's pretty great. We have a split wire. Well, it's, you know, we split the actual shielding off, which is awesome. So now you grab yourself a pick tool. I actually just have our multimeter handy, so we're gonna go ahead and poke a hole split the wires in half so we can, don't poke yourself though, hang on. You guys see that? So they're nice and split. Now we get our wire. Got our wire. We'll go ahead and strip like we normally would the end of it. And we're gonna try to get, hang on, try and get the wire through that hole we created. And that way this will never come out, you know, and then we can get it through here. And then we can wrap it right around. See, we got it all wrapped up and we're just tied in right inside there, so freaking awesome. And now we'll go ahead, I don't have electrical tape, but I got our high heat Tessa tape. Should be okay. Check it out, final product, bada boom. So we got our power wire ready to be fed to our ECU, and the only thing we got to do is a ground, which is easy. That is just gonna go ahead and, you know, anywhere to the chassis, somewhere back there, maybe I can go ahead and just get a terminal ready to go, and we'll be looking freaking great, bro.
Downpipes and total exhaust right now. It's in, you know, I'm really excited for our first turnover. It's gonna be.
So I figured I'd show you guys why I'm so adamant now about getting a new crank pulley. You guys see that crack right there? It starts over here and goes all the way up, all the way back down, and right there. So I just don't feel confident, and if this thing ever flew off, that's gonna cause a bunch of damage, and we don't wanna do that. So yeah, I mean, if we can do 2-day priority shipping, if any of you guys have one out there, I will PayPal you. But alright guys, that's it. Oh yeah, let me show you guys our list real quick. Sorry. Update. A lot of added parts, battery box, battery terminals, cotter pins, 3/4 inch hose, 5/8 clamps. We added fixed water neck. We gotta do our crank pulley, power steering line, mount the battery, tighten motor mounts. Those are the only really things. So guys, we're seriously slimming down right now on our to-do list. It's pretty amazing. But I'm gonna stop the talking, cut it out, and we'll be back here tomorrow. You know, you guys know the deal. I'm just working. Every day I'm out here, I'm getting things done. I'm super excited. We're actually in a really good spot right now. The only big thing left is making our exhaust. So hopefully that goes smoothly. First time making my own kind of exhaust. Cut, you know, measure twice, cut once, right? So I'll see you guys on the whole journey. We'll probably start tomorrow. A lot to do tomorrow, but I'll catch you guys then. If you guys liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.